What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Adam and this is Vancity Audi. It's a scorcher out here today, or at least it feels as such. The density altitude sitting right now at 2600 DA. It is extremely humid. We're sitting at about 84, 85 degrees Fahrenheit, but who gives a shit? TTE710 hybrid turbo from the Turbo Engineers, using IE's Stage 3 ECU and TCU software today, running their 93 octane file. I still only have the turbo upgraded. I have not touched any of the fueling, so we're sticking with pump gas. If you guys checked out my last performance video in this B9 S4, I ripped off a 10.8 at 125 miles per hour and change. Really impressive in my books for the street on pump gas. Today we're in some crazy heat, but in the past I've had some pretty good times in this car, even in the heat, because my drag radials get nice and sticky and I bite out of the hole really well. So enough of my BS, I'm gonna go through the parts that we're using on the car and then we'll get to drag racing. We'll start under the hood with this freaking badass 710 hybrid turbo from TTE. Connected to that is integrated engineering downpipe and then to their mid pipes. In front of the turbo, we have IE's turbo inlet as well as their air intake system. Then up front, we have IE's intercooler. For wheels and tires, I'm still using my Hoosier DR2s with Enkei RPF 1s, as well as my downgraded B9 A4 brakes. And finally, let's not forget about the weight reduction. 180 pounds removed from the inside of the car. Add that to the downgraded B9 A4 brakes, and we're looking at about 213 pounds of weight reduction. I am so disgustingly warm right now. I'm sorry if I'm covered in sweat throughout these videos today. It's really freaking humid. I have no idea how it's gonna turn out. I managed that 10.8 on the street, but the DA was only 600. Now it's 2600 and significantly hotter. So my turbo is gonna struggle on the back half, but who the hell knows? This car's surprised me in the past on hot days. Let's find out what we can do. Crap, I almost forgot to tell you my TCU tune has been changed since the last time I showed you guys what I could do on the street. I've now upgraded that TCU file to a race launch meant for slicks. I have never run this file at a straight stage 3 power level, so I have no idea how well I'm gonna hook, if I'm gonna spin, but that's what it's all about. Finding out what works best, making changes, adapting, and moving on. Seeing if I can improve as the night goes. It's super hot out, so I have the most aggressive launch file loaded, and we'll see how this goes. Yeah, buddy! Feels good off launch. Feels healthy. Definitely felt a little faster on the street when the temperature wasn't so bloody hot, but that launch felt pretty damn good. In typical draggy fashion, it did not work. It didn't record that run. For whatever reason, it's connected, it's showing all the details, but I have nothing to show for that run. So the only thing that will indicate how well I did is the upcoming time slip. Ouch, that one hurts. If you guys watched the last video on track, in my stock turbo in this B9 S4, I tried to explain to you guys and demonstrate to you guys just how much temperature and a high density altitude negatively affects your results in the quarter mile, and today was no exception. 85 degrees, I looked at my phone right before the run, 85 degrees Fahrenheit and 2580, I believe, was the density altitude. I just ran an 11.0 at 122 miles an hour. That's 2 miles an hour slower than I managed on the street, and 0.2 slower than I managed on the street, because it's so freaking hot, so humid, and so gross today. Regardless of making more power, regardless of having that oh so lovely TTE710 on board, I'm back using pump gas, and that's how quick I managed to go the first run of the night here at Mission Raceway. Time for run number 2. That run was gross. It's so hot. It's cooled down a bit. We're sitting at 72 degrees Fahrenheit now and 2000 DA. Still much higher than the average conditions we get around here. But I'm gonna make the most of it. Rather than trying to go quicker than I've ever gone before, I'm gonna line up a race. This time around, I am racing against my buddy Johnny, not in his Corvette Z06, which was on the channel not too long ago, actually. I raced against him when I was stock turbo, and the only reason why I beat him is because I treed him. That's it. He started pulling hard on the back half of the track. He's making significantly more power than I was with a stock turbo compared to his slightly modified. I want to say it was stock actually when I raced him. I think it might have been stock. So 650 horsepower Z06. Today, he's going to be racing me in his 700 wheel horsepower Hellcat. He's borrowed his dad's car, said, give me a chance. I want to race Adam again. Let's see how the cars compare. That thing's a monster. It puts down consistent times, so it's really going to come down to who launches better. I know this car launches hooks and books, but if he cuts a really good light, this race could be really close. So cross your fingers. We both have clean runs and nice clean passes.
Another fun race in the books. Yeah! That was awesome.
Oh, that was a good race. Now in his defense, that isn't his car, it's his dad's. So he doesn't get nearly as much seat time in that thing as he does his Z06. Still a fun race. Draggy says a 10.97. My first 10-second run in this car on track. 0 to 60 was a 3.03 mile per hour. So I've still gone quicker and faster on the street with street tires in a cooler temperature and a lower DA. Let's check out the time slip and see how close our cars performed. Holy shit balls. What a close race. I treed him again by a full 10th, but if I would not have treed him, he would have been so close to me. I ran a 10.96. He ran a 10.99. 3/100th of a difference. I finally decided to start making more power now that it's cooled down, and I managed 125.244 mile an hour. He managed 124.94. So even though his car is making way more power than my car is, I still out-trapped him because my car weighs a lot less. Very, very fun run. I'll see if I can line up another one before the night's end. All right, guys, final run of the night. Hopefully my auxiliary lighting is good enough to still see me. We're down to 72 degrees Fahrenheit and 1300 DA. My tires are cold, the track is cold, but I will give it my damnedest to see if I can beat my personal best. I know the car will make more power up top, but because my tires and the track are cold, I might spin off launch a bit, and that might slow me down, but let's find out. I have no idea how this is gonna go. I might spin like crazy. Oh no, it bit and went. Yeah! Not bad! Keep going, little guy, keep going! Feels faster up top. Yeah! I didn't expect that at all. Thank goodness. A hot night comes to an end. I still gotta pack up the car and everything. I'm gonna be sweating like a pig. All right, guys, final run of the night results. Here's my time slip. The best 60 foot I've ever accomplished of a 1.55 ever. The quickest I've ever done in a 60 foot in this vehicle. I attribute that to the fact that I'm making a lot less torque down low with this 710 hybrid turbo using pump gas versus the stock turbo running E. I was making way more torque down low with that turbo, and then it died up top. Whereas this turbo on pump gas and no fueling upgrades ramps in the power much slower, but then up top is pulling harder. That's why I think I had the best launch. I wasn't overcooking the tires. I didn't have too much launch or too much torque off launch. As for the quarter-mile run, the second quickest I have ever gone of a 10.95 at 125.80. So almost 126 miles an hour, pretty much the same as I did in a much lower density altitude and much cooler temperatures with my street tires on the street. It's a 10-second car now. It's not just a one and done 10-second run. There's multiple 10-second runs in this car, and I'm thrilled. So what do we do next? I personally am sick of running pump gas. It's no fun. If you want to have fun in these cars, in these modern day Audis, you have to run ethanol blends. At least that's my take on it. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna upgrade the fueling. So stay tuned to the channel as we upgrade some of the fueling components in this vehicle so we can run ethanol blends, make more power, and in turn, go quicker and faster than I ever have before in my B9 S4. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care.